everyone. Welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, March 10th. I'm Adam Brown. On today's show, we'll see some more exciting drone footage from high up above the new Shell Point Clubhouse under construction. Anna Smith from Finemark Bank will talk about good record-keeping practices. And Teri Kollath will talk with Pastor Andy Hawkins about the Academy class entitled The Easter Jesus and the Good Friday Church, a three-part seminar beginning this weekend. But first, we'd like to remind you that tomorrow night at the Village Church, the Sanibel Big Arts Concert Band will perform. This 50-piece band includes 5 Shell Point residents. They will perform a variety of hits from the silver screen, as well as traditional marches and overtures. No ticket is required for this fun evening in the Village Church beginning at 7:15 p.m., so come on out. Looking ahead to this weekend, you can join the walking club at the FGCU campus. With 400 acres of environmental preservation, it's the perfect place to get some exercise and enjoy the scenery that is home to various wildlife. If you are able to walk either 3 or 5 miles, then call Jerry Bishop at 822-5608 to sign up. As you might be aware of by now, we have a very cool and useful device to capture footage of our beautiful community from the sky. The construction of the Shell Point Clubhouse has been a great opportunity to utilize our aerial camera system, or drone. Let's go back a little bit in time and show you the progression of the building project as it rises from the ground. And now it's time for Anna Smith of Finemark Bank to talk about the importance of good record keeping. With tax season upon us now, this is the perfect time to get organized. Here's Anna Smith with today's Finemark Minute.
Hello, I'm Anna Smith, Managing Executive of Finemark Bank on the island. In today's Finemark Minute, we are discussing the importance of good record-keeping system. It's important to make sure vital documents and records are easily accessible if necessary. This can save time and money during an unexpected tax audit or during the estate planning process. But not all documents need to be stored in the same location and for the same period of time. Here are some suggestions on where to keep your important documents. In your safe box, keep things like birth certificate, CDs, death certificates, vehicle titles, and IRA papers. Other documents you may want to keep in a fireproof box at home include your living will, medical power of attorney, trust documents, and wills. And you may want to consider keeping certain documents with an attorney or trusted relative. Those include burial instructions, financial and medical power of attorney, and your living will. In general, you want to keep physical copies of anything related to state or federal matters, including certifications, licenses, or deeds. Next, there are documents you need to keep for a while. You should keep tax records and receipts for 7 years. Pay stubs and bank statements hold for a year. Also, medical records and bills keep at least 1 year, along with warranties. Finally, the last group are the documents where you only need to keep the most recent version of your Social Security statements, annual insurance statements, and retirement plan statements. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 461-5999 or stop by the bank on the island. With today's Finemark Minute, I'm Anna Smith.
The Academy of Lifelong Learning is presenting a special 3-session seminar entitled The Easter Jesus and the Good Friday Church, Reclaiming the Centrality of the Resurrection. It will cover the art of the Roman catacombs, how the resurrection changed the disciples' expectations of the Messiah, and the resurrection through the book of Acts and in the epistles of Paul. This seminar is drawn from Greg Athnos's exploration of the art produced by the early church during a time of intense persecution. To tell us more of what to expect from Greg's seminar, Pastor Andy Hawkins of the Village Church visits with Teri Kollath.
Hello, I'm Teri Kollath, and I'm here today with Pastor Andrew Hawkins, Senior Pastor of our Village Church. And we're talking about yet another collaboration with the Village Church and the Academy of Lifelong Learning. Thank you for joining me, Pastor Andy.
My pleasure.
Well, gift after gift comes to us from the Village Church, no doubt about it. And I am so grateful when we have an opportunity to collaborate. We've had a couple opportunities lately.
We have.
This one, we talked about it at the very beginning as a Lenten gift, and it certainly is.
That's right. That's right.
Why are you bringing this to us?
Well, Professor Gregory Athnos is a professor emeritus at North Park University up in Chicago. But it's interesting, he's made sort of a second career of exploration of various dimensions of the art world, in particular the art of the early church, much of which is found, of course, in the catacombs of Europe. And it was interesting as he began to explore these things, he recognized something that to him was a startling kind of, I think, almost an epiphany. Because, you know, you're exploring art and you're in the catacombs, you're in the places of death and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But what he was discovering was that overwhelmingly the art of the catacombs had to do with the resurrection rather than with the crucifixion of Christ. And so his thesis that he began to develop, and it was confirmed over and over again by the data that he collected, and then when he went to the scriptures to sort of look at things as well, helped him to recognize, I think, that the church has sort of misbalanced the crucifixion and the resurrection in some measure, that we've de-emphasized over the centuries. the significance of the resurrection. And the early church was rooted in that extraordinary hope in the risen Christ, even though they were a persecuted and an oppressed kind of church. And so he's put this kind of thing together in a way that not only has he written a book about it, but also he's presented all over the world in ways that have been enthusiastically received, in which he tells this story, connects it with the scriptures, connects it with the history that he's unfolded, with the artwork that he's engaged in, art investigation that he's engaged in. And so it's really one of the most fascinating sort of combinations of his academic work as well as the spiritual dimension of the significance of the resurrection for the early church.
And how hopeful for us, and what a wonderful time to look at it. Thus your title, The Easter Jesus and the Good Friday Church.
That's exactly right. And that's, of course, not my title. That's the title of his book and the overarching series. Now, he really has 3 sessions in this series. The first one begins on the Sunday evening service of the village church, to which, of course, Academy people are invited. You don't have to go to the village church to come to that. That's at 6:15. That'll be the introductory session. And then he has another session on Monday, which will also be held at the village church at 10:15 in the morning. And then he has another session on Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the Grand Cypress Room. And they all are complementary with each other. In other words, there's not the same session repeated 3 times. They all relate to each other and are sequential in that nature. I'm sure that each one of them stands alone and is valuable in their own right. But it's the kind of thing that people who have it in their schedule to be able to go to all 3 certainly should be encouraged to do so, because I think it'll be a fascinating, intellectually stimulated, spiritually uplifting kind of program.
Doesn't get better than that.
That's correct.
Isn't it kind of, aren't we the epitome here of people who develop second interests? Mm-hmm. And it's very, very likely that many of us, as we're living longer, will discover a passion for something and develop it into the future. And that's the most rewarding part of being part of Shell Point, I think, is seeing how people are discovering new things, and then to have such a wonderful example of that come right to us.
Yeah, he's evidently quite a remarkable and extraordinary presenter, but you're exactly right about this is the kind of thing that it's not really what he worked at the university when he was doing these things. But his imagination was captured, and of course he was in the arts in the first place, but not so much in the visual arts. But this has captured his attention, and something that he has loved, and then shared that love with many other people in several continents in the presentations that he's made, the book that he's written. And so I'm looking forward to it with great interest.
Sure, and as we approach Good Friday and Easter, what a wonderful reminder of the joy of Easter.
That's exactly right.
What a surprise it must have been for him.
I think so.
Oh, it's
absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And we're going to look forward to hearing him tell his own story, of course.
We are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pastor Andy. And thank you to the Village Church. Don't miss the opportunity to accept this Lenten gift, this very timely Lenten gift, and attend all 3 sessions, if you're able, of FLL 38, the Easter Jesus, and the Good Friday Church.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley.
And I'm Caitlin Vanscoy.
And we're going to go over the activities offered for you here today through Resort Services. We're going to start with the Health Connections class at 7:15, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That'll be in the Tarpon Room on the island. The Men's Golf Association will be meeting at the Shell Point Golf Club at 8 o'clock. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the Round Robin Doubles Tennis going on at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. Current events will gather at the Game Room of the Woodlands at 9:30. And also at 9:30, we have the Ladies Match Play Tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. And our last 9:30 activity is the Paddlers Club heading out for their weekly trip from the kayak storage. At 10:15, we have the Astronomy Interest Group meeting in the Osprey Room. They always have an interesting program, so head on down. Also at 10:15, we have a lunch outing going to Cheddar's. The court pickups begin at 10:15 on the island, 10:25 at the Woodlands, and 10:35 for Eagles Preserve in the estuary. 10:15, we have a Health Connections class, Stay Current in Nutrition. That'll be in the Social Center. Sign up is required. We have basic line dancing in the Tarpon Room at 10:15. And we have our Suzy Q boat leaving at 11 o'clock today. They're heading to Rum Runners or Fathoms. You do need to sign up for that one. Here's Caitlin. She'll tell you about our afternoon lineup today.
Thank you, Beth. We start at 12:45 with Mahjong in the Library Lounge. And at 1:15, we have Fun and Fitness. That'll be held in the community room of King's Crown. Also at 1:15, Samba the card game will be played at the Resident Activity Center. And shuffleboard is available at 1:15 at the shuffleboard courts. We have Finding Joy group meeting in the Manatee Room at 1:45. And then we move to 2 o'clock for the Stamp Ministry. They'll be meeting in the Stamp Room on the island. At 2:45, we have a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Advanced. That'll be held in the Tarpon Room. That one is currently closed. The seamstress will be here for her weekly service at 4 o'clock in the Osprey Room. And 4:30 is the time for Alcoholics Anonymous. They'll be meeting in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. Pinochle will be played at 6:30 at the Library Lounge. And we have our spring dance called Disco Fever. Starts at 7 o'clock and it's in the Grand Cypress Room. You do need a ticket for that. Our last activity of the day is Trailblazers Bible Study. That starts at 7 o'clock at the Woodlands Game Room. Well, we're so happy to see you here today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Teri Kollath with your Academy information for Thursday, March 10th. At 10 o'clock, the Legacy Seminar, Can Annuities Meet Your Retirement Goals, will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. At 1 o'clock, Painting with Palette Knives continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 4:15, we have part 2 of the story of Pakistan and Afghanistan in the Social Center of the island. Sign up is required. And don't forget, tomorrow we have the Apple iPad, iPhone, Mac free walk-in clinic in the Technology Teaching Center on the island with residents ready to help you with your questions.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is whole grain mustard chicken with wilted spinach and whole wheat pasta. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $15.95, and the soup of the day is potato leek. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a chili cheese dog with baked beans and fries for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York strip with trio mushroom sauce for $19.95 or Chilean sea bass for $22.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Well, can you tell it is spring break? Just last night here at the Village Church, we're pleased to host the Indiana Wesleyan University Choir under the direction of Dr. Todd Guy. It was a wonderful, inspirational concert, and you know, there are more students coming again this weekend. I'm Randy Woods here at the Village Church, and it's a privilege to work with so many talented residents and special guests who come our way. And each spring, we're always surprised by those who come and visit. Oftentimes we plan ahead, but there are those calls, such as this week, that surprise us. So this Sunday morning, we're looking forward to the opportunity to welcome the Moody Chorale from Chicago, Illinois. This 40-voice choir of college students from the Moody Bible Institute will participate in the morning service, singing solo anthems, motets, as well as contemporary sacred music under the direction of Dr. Shangtang Hong. We will enjoy hearing these students from the Moody Chorale on Sunday morning, but we also will be welcome the students from Franklin and Marshall College from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It will be the Franklin and Marshall Chamber Singers, about 20 students in that ensemble. They too will be presenting solo anthems and sacred music as part of the morning worship service. And as though that would not be enough, we're going to combine those two choirs with the 100 voices of the Village Church Choir. We'll all be students. We're calling it the Spring Break Festival of Sacred Song. And that will be this Sunday morning at 10:15. So pass the word around. Invite everyone to come and support the students and your friends and neighbors as during this spring break we celebrate God's goodness through the ministry of song. As the students are on campus only on Sunday morning, they will gather early at the church for a rehearsal. We have selected music. I've been working with the directors, Dr. Hong as well as Dr. Bill Wright from Franklin Marshall. And the three of us are going to collaborate with our musicians, all the singers together, to combine our voices in a grand doxology of praise. There'll be lots of music, there'll be congregational singing, and a short message from our pastor as he teaches us what it is that inspires us to make this beautiful song a doxology of praise to our Heavenly Father. So join us this Sunday morning. Again, it'll be the students from the Moody Bible Institute, as well as Franklin and Marshall College, as well as the Village Church Choir. We're going to fill the platform with about 150 singers. So come and join us as we celebrate God's goodness here on March 13th, Sunday morning at 10:15, for the Spring Break Festival of Sacred Song.
Thanks for joining us for today's program. Return tomorrow when we'll learn about the upcoming Medical Breakthroughs and Discoveries Seminar on Alzheimer's disease with Jeff Corey and Dr. Sheriff. Also, we'll recap the top stories from all of this week. So until then, we hope you have a wonderful day. I'm Adam Brown, and this has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, March 10th. Good day, everyone.